Hey, what is going on, ladies and gents? What's happening, guys? Hope you all are having a great Sunday evening. Hey, I wanted to hop on here today, guys. I want to talk a little bit about the different type of trade orders that you can take. So when you are getting into a trade, there are different types of orders, especially if you're new. There can be some confusion on what it is that you want to take, how you want to get in, especially on your phone. Sometimes it's already preset to a certain thing, and you might not want to get in to the trade at the time, depending on what was given out or what you're looking at or what your analysis gave. So when you look at different type of trade orders, guys, you have what we call market execution or instant execution, and then you have buy limits, buy stops, sell limits, and sell stops. Now, what's the difference? Well, market execution. If you let's say if you were taking a setup from someone, a trade idea or signal, as some people call them, and they told you, all right, buy Euro USD right now, or sell Euro USD right now, or market execution on Euro USD, whatever it may be. That means you want to get in that trade right at that moment. So there is no setting it up, waiting to get in it, and waiting for the movement to happen. That means the movement is happening in that instant. Or they might tell you, market execution at 148.9275. So when that happens, if that was the case, if that was to occur, once you want to wait for price to get to that point, then when price got to that point and close above or under that point, then boom, you will enter into the market at that time. Okay. So that's where confusion comes in for some people. So like when I'm helping my customers get accustomed to learning how to enter trade setups and trade ideas, I typically go through a trade with them, walk them through to make sure they have it set up. Because even on your phone, let's say for instance, you're using obviously MetaTrader 4, when you go in and set up a trade, it's all automatically preset to market execution. So now if it's a different type of order, if it's what we call a pending order, then you have to go in and change it to that type of pending order. Now, what are the different types of pending orders? You have buy stops and buy limits, and sell stops and sell limits. So when you look at the way a buy stop and a buy limit works, one way you can look at it, I don't know if I can draw on my screen. Let me see here. I think I can. I'm gonna see if I can share my screen. If I can share my screen, then I will draw it on my screen to try to give you all a visual of what it looks like. All right. So let's see. I'll go here, share screen. I don't know if this has any drawing tools on it, so I'm gonna see. Let me see. Okay. But you know what? I'm inside of TradingView, so TradingView has a drawing tool. Let me make sure I'm still showing, and I'll show you the difference. So. One way you can look at it. Okay, cool. So my screen is showing. So the way this works, when you look at buy limits and sell limits, let's say if you had a trade for, let's start with the buys. If someone gave you a buy limit, what you're waiting for, I kind of look at it as like a check mark. So with a buy limit, what you're waiting for, right? Where is the drawing tool at? Let me find a drawing tool inside of TradingView. I never really use it, but see, they got a pencil in here. TradingView, where is it at? Where is it at? Text. Let's see if this will work. Okay, I can work with that. You know what? I'll work what I normally work with. Let me go to my tools right here. Let me use my trend lines and I can do it. So if you are, let's say someone said, I'll give you a buy stop. Let's go look at GBP CAD, all right, for instance. And let's say we wanted to get in a buy stop on this. And I mean, a buy limit on this. So what we're waiting for, where price is up here, right? So if we wanted to get in a buy limit where, let's say price was at, if we wanted to get in, it gave us a buy limit for 73.34. So let's say if we wanted to get in up here, okay, let's say we want to get in up here, right? Which is where if I was to get on this, I'm waiting for it to break up here and do a few things. But let's say we want to get in on a buy limit on this. No, we want to get on a buy limit on this, looking at price right here. So let's say, right, if we want to get in right here. So the way a buy limit will work, if you want to get in at, let's say, at 73.06, okay? So price is above that right now, because the way the buy limit works, you're waiting for price right here, right? You want price to break through. You want price to break through price. You want the candles to break through price right here, right? And then what you're looking for it to do is to come back up and through this area, okay? So that's how a buy limit will work. I kind of look at it, I call it a check mark. That's the way I always see it. So if you want to get in, let's say price was right now at 73.206, let's say we want to get in right here at 73.03, right? What we would need to happen first, we would need the candles to come down and go below it and then go back up. So it's like a break to the downside and a push back to the upside. Once that happens, once it breaks through here and then breaks back up, then you're in the buy. So that's what a buy limit does, okay? So now that buy limit, it may activate, it may not. It may come down here and then decide to shoot back up, and then that wouldn't activate your limit. It can come all the way to right here. If it never breaks past here and goes up, then your limit is not going to activate, okay? It can break through and just continue to the downside and never go back up. Now, how do you determine if it's going to go back up or not? It's just you, depending on what your analysis is and what you're looking at, to say, okay, I feel price is going to come to this level, then it's going to turn around and do a shift of momentum and then do a push to the upside. So that's how a buy limit looks. Now, let's say we want to get in this as a buy stop. A buy stop is just like price is just taking off and going straight through. So let's say we wanted to get in on a buy stop on GCAD, let's say at 73.56, right? And say I want to get in a buy stop here. Okay. I will select buy stop for my pending order, right? And then what we want to happen, like how this went down and up, we're not looking for that. All we want price to do right now, let's say price was here, and if I felt it was gonna do a shift of momentum and go to the upside, all we want price to do is come up and boom, shoot through and break through right here. If price breaks through right here on my buy stop, boom, I'm now in the trade. It's activated. And now all we're looking for is price to continue moving towards the upside. That's how a buy stop goes. Once again, if it never breaks through, if the candles never break through price right here, it won't activate. If it comes right here and then turns back around, then that trade will have never activated. And it can go through, break through, right? I'll be in the trade, then it can turn around on me. It doesn't matter on that. If it breaks through, the trade is going to activate. So that's how a buy limit and a buy stop works. And a sell limit and a sell stop are the complete opposite. So for a sell limit, if I want to get on this trade as a sell limit, all I'm looking for now, right? Let's say if I wanted to get in at the same point here and I feel like it's going to go back down, okay? You want price to break through, but now you want price to come up first. Like you can look at it as a boomerang, or like I said, now I look at it as an upside down check mark, right? Price to come up first, then boom, price is going to activate once it shoots back to the downside, and we're looking for it to continue to go down just like that. See, so it's like an upside down check mark to me, okay? Now for a sell stop, and we want to get in a sell stop, it's the same complete opposite of a buy stop. If I want to get in a sell stop, let's say right here, all I'm looking for is these candles to come break through. I want candles to break through where I have my price set, which is right here. And if these candles just shoot down and break through and just continue to the downside, I'm in that trade, it's activated, boom, now I'm in my sell stop. Okay. Now with pending orders, you can look at it where it's been times where a pending order, let's say it can come do this, right? It can activate as a sell stop, boom, break through, and I'm looking for it to continue moving to the downside because my trade is activated, I'm in a sell. It can do what we call a fake out. It can come, it can wick and hit price, and then it can, boom, shoot back to the upside. Now, that's just the chances you take with trading, right? But if your analysis is right and what you're looking at happens, you can't get them all right, but it should continue if you feel you got the proper analysis, proper trading strategy, that sell stop activated, boom, it can continue to the downside. Same thing with a buy limit or a buy stop. So all of it is based off of, what type of trading style you're using, what analysis are you using, what are you seeing to help you say, hey, this is a good buy limit or sell limit. Now, buy limit and sell limits are good. Also, let's say if you're up, you got to, you see a nice setup happening, right? And you need to get to bed or whatever, you're tired, you set your limits or your stops, boom, that trade activate, you go to sleep, you wake up in the morning, you could be in nice profit or you could have won that trade. So those are the different things. Now, why it varies from market execution? Because market execution is happening right in that moment. So there is no sitting and waiting for it to happen and setting everything up. It's like, price limit pending orders are like setting a trap, where it's like, okay, it's like catching like a bear trap per se or whatever. Boom, once price hits, okay, now you caught it. Now you're in it, right? You accomplish what you want to accomplish. Where with market execution, that you still marking up your charts, doing your analysis, and then you're waiting for the movement to happen that you want to happen, and then you get in a trade. So if you see a really good trade set up, right, it might not happen for another hour or two. If you're doing a market execution, you might fall asleep or wake up, you could have missed that trade. So if you can keep yourself up and you got a good setup, then you need to stay up. Setting alerts. That's why I like to use alerts. So I'm not, if I see a good setup, I'm waiting for it to happen, because I only use market execution. I don't like using limits and stops. It's just me personally. I like getting in the market real time, right there in the moment. So what I do, once I mark up my charts, have my analysis all set up, I use, what's the word I'm looking for? I use alerts. There are different apps, like called Call Levels is one, Forex Alerts is another, right? And I use these apps. And what they do, I can be busy doing something, whatever, or even if it's in the middle of the night, I got a good setup. Boom, I got an alert set. Boom, my phone is going to ring and give me an alert to let me know it's time to get in my trade, to get into the market. So I'll go look at it and see if it's ready. And it may be ready, it may not be ready. It might have just crossed where I want it, and it's going through the motions of my trading parameters. And if it's active, then boom, I'll get into it. So, it's different strokes for different folks. It's all about what you use and what you're comfortable with. Some people like market execution. Some people like limits and stops. But at the end of the day, they all are effective and they get the job done. And those are the different type of trades you're going to get in. There is no any other thing you can take other than market execution or buy stops, sell stops, buy limits and sell limits. And pretty much that's a pretty generic version of how it breaks down. But you find out what works for you. You find out the different trading style. And then if you're taking trade ideas, you got different educators that trade different ways. Some educators use limits and orders, limits and stops. Some do not. It just depends. All right. So I hope you all found this to be of value, man. Find what works for you. Get out there, get in the markets, try this and demo. If you're not trading live yet, practicing your demo account. Find what works for your trading style, what works for your energy, what works perfectly for the way you like to do things. And there is no right or wrong answer. It's all about preference. All right. So appreciate you guys for hopping on, man. I hope you all got some value from it. If you want to learn how to trade, guys, and you want to get a look at the platform that I utilize, shoot me a message. I'll be more than happy to share some information with you, and you can take a look for yourself to see if you like what you see. All right. Take care. I will talk to you all tomorrow. Have a good evening.